Welcome to Rise and Shine Daily Business Tech Boost with me, Charlie Latham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and break them down into bite-sized tips you can use right away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine, it's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charlie Latham, episode number 510, and I want to talk about private browsers or incognito browsing on your web browser and what it means, why you're asked to use it occasionally, why you might want to use it yourself more regularly, and the things that it doesn't do for you. So let's have a chat about it. Sometimes when you are troubleshooting a problem, I am just rearranging my screen a little so that I can see my notes here. Here we go. Sometimes when you are troubleshooting a problem on the web, your provider will come back to you and say, could you please, or not even please, have you tried this in a private browser? Now, that may or may not mean something to you. You might go, I don't get it. Or you might just get really frustrated. Why do I have to do this? So let me go through what it means. So incognito browsing or private browsing is a way of looking at the internet, and it doesn't, using a browser, and it doesn't save information to your computer. So it doesn't save your history. It doesn't save cookies, and that's the important thing. That's why we as tech support people often say, can you just try that in an incognito browser, please? It doesn't save cookies, it doesn't save site data, and it doesn't save form inputs. That's why it's called private browsing. That's why it's called incognito. The idea is that when you visit a site, generally, it will write a cookie to your computer, and it will tell the website when it comes, goodness gracious, when you go and visit a website, it will look to see if that cookie exists on your computer. And if that cookie exists on your computer, it may do certain things based on that. Now, it may change the way content is changed here. So, just trying to give you a good example here. When you go to a website and it says, do you accept all cookies? And you've got to tick the box, or do you want to just choose which cookies you choose? And you've got to choose which cookies. That's the sort of thing that it looks for. So if you've checked that consent box, and said, yes, I accept the cookies, it looks to see if you've accepted that, and it won't show you that banner again. When you go to a website and it gives you a pop-up and you click the X on the pop-up, sometimes it will write a cookie to say that you've been shown the pop-up and you're not to be shown it again. Well, you've been shown the pop-up, and then it's in the back end of the site, it says, that cookie exists. We won't show them the pop-up. When was the last time we showed them the pop-up? A month ago. Well, we'll show them that pop-up again. So that's where your cookies are actually, that's where cookies are used. I want to say in a smart way. I want to say that's how they work, in a smart way. Sometimes we might just find that really annoying, but that's what cookies do, is they store information about your visit to the site. So sometimes when we are testing things, or when we're trying to work out whether we've got a problem with the website, or whether it's the way it's interacting with the browser, or whether a cookie can become corrupted as well. It's a little text file that is saved to your computer in the temp folder. It can become corrupted as well. And so when we're trying to test things to make sure we don't have corrupted cookies, or cookies aren't causing us grief, or some site data has been saved into your browser, we ask you to use a private browser. We ask you to use an incognito browser, because that takes the cookies and all the site data saving out of the picture, and it gives us what we consider a cleaner view of how things look. I know it's a pain, and I know it's annoying when you get that message back going, have you tried it in a private browser? What's even more annoying is when you're like me and you know these things, and you go and try it in a private browser, and you send back saying, here's the testing I've done. Yes, I've checked it in a private browser, and you get that standard response back. Have you tried it in a private browser? Yes, I did. Okay. So that's why we ask you to use private browsers or incognito browsing incognito browsing. I use the two interchangeably, by the way, because it depends on which browser you're in as to what it presents as when you go looking for it on your menu system. So it's either incognito or private. How do you find it? Well, it depends on your browser you're using, but in Brave and Chrome, on the top right-hand corner, there's a little menu. You click on it and it will say new private window or new incognito window. That's how you find it. One day I will do a full video on how you find it and how you can use it. When I do that, I'll also show you how you can clear your cookies on your computer. I just don't want to do a screen share today. I just want to do a big quick talky video here. So that's what a private browser is. That's why you want to use a private browser, or why tech support people want you to use a private browser. Question is, why would you want to use a private browser in general? It's sitting there. It's obviously there for use. Why would you want to use it? Well, you might want to use it if you are browsing on shared devices. So if you go down to the local internet cafe, or you find a kiosk somewhere, maybe you're at the airport and you're using one of the computers at the airport and you've just logged in just to check your banking details or something, use a private browser there. That is perfect for it, because it won't save the cookies, it won't save the site data, it won't save the history. The other example I've got here is if you're planning surprise gifts and you don't want someone to see what you've been searching for. That's a good one. It's when you want to keep your activity private. So if you are on shared devices, if you're on public devices, always use a shared browser. Please always use a shared browser. Really, really important. What doesn't it do? And this is where people sometimes really fall down. What it doesn't do is make you invisible online. Your ISP, your employer, your school, the person who runs the network that you are connecting to can still see the sites that you're visiting, how long you're spending on them, all of those things. They can still get that data from you because it's not making you invisible online. And websites can still track you in real time. It's not anonymous browsing. They can still see where you've come from, where you're going to next. So it's not anonymous browsing, and it's certainly not going to make you invisible online. You need a VPN for that. We will cover VPNs at a later date, but a VPN will help you get a lot more anonymous, a lot more invisible online if that's what you want to be. But if you are really looking for the ability to do some testing and see whether it's your browser, whether it's the website, whether it's something else, you try an incognito window first of all. Try a private browsing window first of all. Do that as part of your testing. Send it back to your person and say, yep, I've done it in a private browser. Here's the results on the private browser. Here's the results on a standard browser. That honestly, it just helps me move my testing forward faster. If it works on a private browser for you and it doesn't work on a normal browser, we know that we've got a cookie problem. We know that we've got a saved data problem. And in one of my next videos, I'll show you how you can fix that, or try to fix that yourself, and then send it back to your tech support. So you can do a lot of support for work for yourself and get yourself to a point where you're not just saying to someone, it doesn't work. You can give them a lot more information at very little cost and time and effort to yourself. And I'll guarantee you that you'll get asked to do it anyway. It's good for when you are sharing a device and you don't want other people to see where you've been or what you're doing or the things that you've been looking at. It's good for that. What it isn't good for, it's not good for being anonymous. It's not good anonymous publicly. It's not good for being invisible online. Honestly, I use incognito mode a lot. I use incognito mode a lot for testing. The other one is if you need to go and log into another account. So let's say you're logged into your Gmail account on your Xero account. on one browser and you don't want to run up a second browser, but you need to go and log into your client's Xero account or your contract's Xero account, and you don't want to log out of yours, you can run up a private browser and you have the private browser window open and your browser window open and be logged into two different Xero accounts. That's another good use for it. All right, guys, what do you think? Leave comments wherever you are watching or listening to this video. Please, please, please come across to my locals community, askcharlieleatham.locals.com. Join the conversation there. If this video has been of use to you, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlieleatham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.